Good morning. I'm audio video recording this for my records.
Okay.
I'd like to submit a public records request.
Okay.
Can I get a copy of that with date and time of receipt stamped on it, please? It's a two-sided document, too.
Okay. I have to wait for my computer system to want to work.
I understand. It's Monday morning. It's had a weekend off.
Something like that. And your last name, Mom?
Mm-hmm. What's the question? I don't have any pending charges or anything. I'm not.
So you're wanting something that's 97?
No. I'm wanting something that happened on last Monday.
Yes, I'm telling you, you don't have anything.
Not for me. This is not for me. This is regarding another individual. I'm asking for what's a Freedom of Information Act request for documents pertaining to the arrest of another individual.
The individual?
Nathaniel Paul Hinkle.
Is that on here?
That's in there, yeah. It's in the body of the
Okay.
document. I've spoken with Ms. Heckert about the case. I'm just trying to get some information.
And what did she say?
I haven't spoken with her since it's been sent to your office. She hadn't seen the case yet, so she was waiting until then to speak to me about the specifics. But I filed a request with the Sheriff's Department. They said that they can't because they're no longer the custodian of record. So they said they transferred it to this department, and so I'm requesting those documents from this department.
How are you related to the case?
I was a witness.
I can't release that information because you're not the actual defendant. But hold on. No, that makes sense.
I'm being audio video recording, so
That's
just
fine,
letting you know. All
that's
right.
fine. We can't release this to you, it's under review, it's,
Is that one of the exceptions allowed by law?
yeah,
Can you confirm that?
let me go get
Yeah,
somebody that
please,
can.
please, yeah. I'm not trying to be difficult.
What
I'm
is
just
your
trying.
interest in the case?
I was a witness, and I attempted to file a complaint for things that I saw the officer do, and I was obfuscated by the sheriff's department, so I'm just trying to hold everybody accountable.
Are you Mr. Wong?
Yes, I am.
Hey,
I'm audio video recording, just letting you know.
That's all right, thanks. So, yeah, this case that's currently under investigation, so police reports and things like that aren't public records.
Okay, whatever it is, public record.
Until the conclusion of the investigation. Further, if you're a witness to this, if you're someone who could be called as a witness, we wouldn't share the records with you, only because we wouldn't want your testimony to get tainted by information
And
that
so
you
these
weren't.
things are allowable by the Freedom of Information Act. These are allowable exceptions under law.
Yeah, so like I said, when the case is completed or when the
Can
investigation
you
is
tell me
over.
what exceptions those are and what the statute that applies
Again,
to
I
them?
haven't reviewed the law on it right now, but I do know that that's our policy on it.
Policy notwithstanding, is that the law?
I believe so, but I
You believe
like
it,
I said,
okay.
I haven't.
Can you check on it?
Not at this moment I can't, because I'm preparing large cases right now that I gotta get taken care of. but I can tell you that we normally do not give out that information. We
I'm
certainly give
asking
it out.
what's allowable by law.
Yeah. And I'm saying that right at this point, we're not going to use it.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need.
Yep.
And what was your name again, sir?
Yeah, Benjamin Law.
Do you have a business card I can have?
Yeah.
Thank you. And when you have an opportunity to
What do
look
you
that
need?
up.
What do you need them for? Is it just? I'm just curious.
Not that I have to give you a reason, but
No, I'm not saying you
in
do.
witnessing it,
Okay.
come over here. In witnessing it, I saw some things. I'm a senior criminology student at SU,
Okay.
so I witnessed some things that I asked questions of the sheriff's department. Well, when I went in to ask questions of the sheriff's department, I was asked to leave. And I spoke with Deputy Clark, and I said, well, this is what I saw, and this is how I interpreted what I saw, and he ceased taking notes and started getting really aggressive with me. And I'm like, wait a minute, because I was questioning his fellow officers, I'm guessing. You know, and I'm just, anyway.
Well, I'm sorry that they got aggressive with you.
I'm a law-abiding, taxpayer. I worked in the criminal justice system, worked for the youth authority for 6.5 years. Can I finish my statement real quick?
Oh, absolutely.
So in witnessing this, I went down to the sheriff's department and attempted to make a complaint. Well, one, they have that very difficult process in making a complaint.
Were you able to get one made?
Well, and starting, after about 5, maybe 6 lines that long on a legal pad, he stopped taking notes. And I said, I can tell when someone's disengaged listening, So I just said, hey, I noticed that you disengaged listening. Well, he said, well, because nothing's going to happen. I said, well, can I speak to your superior? I'm fine waiting. He said, no, you will leave now. Got very aggressive with me. So I left, of course. Not even sure if that's a lawful police order, but I left.
Always wise.
It's always wise. He had the gun. So then I made a call back to the sheriff's department immediately and said, hey, I'd like to redress this. I'd like to petition for redress of this complaint. And she said, it sounds like you've already done that, sir. So I'm like, okay, what's my next step then? And she's like, well, you could try the Department of Justice. So I called the Department of Justice. They referred me to this office. In contacting this office, I spoke briefly with Beck Hecker, but because the case hadn't been forwarded to this office yet, it wasn't even in her computer.
Yeah.
I'm volunteering myself as a witness both to the arrest, but and to the defense, because in this case, I don't believe I witnessed. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll discuss that anyway.
I haven't seen the.
So I
report
get after that initial contact with the sheriff's department, I get a call from Captain Larson.
Following up on the complaint.
Following up on no, not following up on my complaint. Well, I guess, and he came across aggressive again, and I'm not sure what the deal is. I'm not sure what. Because I've been on the other side. I worked for the youth authority for 6.5 years. We got complaints all the time. Are you kidding? You just let it roll off. You act objectively, so there's nothing to say. And so he came off aggressively. I explained myself. He several times questioned my account of the events, and different interpretations of what I saw.
Sure.
Then I had to go because at that time Beth Hecker was calling me back. So I got off the phone with him, and I turned around and spoke with her briefly. So I had at that time requested from Captain Larson a sit-down meeting with Lieutenant Clark, because I'm not sure why he got so aggressive and angry with me. I just want to know as a community member, can I sit down, can we have, let's figure this out, because I'm not an enemy of the criminal justice system. I worked in it. I continue to have contact. I work as a developmental disabilities behavior specialist, and we have constant contact with the community and with the policing, because we have to as part of our job.
Good.
So I don't understand the hostility for one. So anyway, I sent Captain Clark. I sent Captain Clark an email requesting a sit-down visit with him, so that I'm not just some baseless complainant, and so that there can be some kind of closure and some kind of follow-through. I have not, and that was last week. I have not received any contact back. I emailed Ms. Hecker this morning.
At some point, either at the initial time or later, did they actually get your statement as to what you observed in terms of the event itself?
They didn't in any way that I know record it. or
We're
take,
not recording.
I mean taking
Okay.
notes. Like I said, Lieutenant Clark took 3 or 4 or maybe 5 lines on
And I don't
a
know,
legal pad.
and I have no idea what you're.
Oh, I filed
and
it.
it is, no, in terms of the actual incident,
Oh.
in terms of how much statement mattered towards their investigation or not.
The reason I filed this Freedom of Information Act request is because in my observations, the video of the dash cam would corroborate that. And Beth Heckert actually suggested that I get a hold of the dash cam footage.
Yeah, and like I said, as the case, when the investigation portion of it, and whether it's.
See, because I was under the
whether it's
understanding that had
filed
already
or not
happened.
filed, hasn't been filed yet.
So let me ask you a question. Are you a deputy district attorney?
Yeah.
Ken Monk, nice to meet you. I
Yeah.
hope I don't come across aggressive, because I'm really not trying. I'm a little worked up
I'm not
because of
picking
what I...
aggressive, but I'm feeling emotion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anxiety. I mean, come on. I've been working.
Okay.
I've been in the field. I've been in the classes. I've had classes from Tim Barnack. I've had classes from I don't know if you were here when Mark Huddleston was here.
Yeah.
And search and seizure law stuff, and I'm seeing stuff, and I'm saying, hey, I mean, like for instance, and this is just your legal opinion on this, does a police officer have the right to take a firearm out of a holster if it's in a safe place in a vehicle and call in the serial number without probable cause to believe that, or at least reasonable suspicion that that's a stolen firearm?
It might depend on the circumstances and what information you have. I mean, if there's information that.
If they don't have any.
That would change things completely.
Yeah, but if not.
Yeah, I don't know. It would depend on the circumstances. I couldn't.
Okay, so if no circumstances exist, is that a normal search procedure?
If they ask for consent to search?
Yeah, if that hasn't been given.
I don't know, it depends. It may get, the evidence, they can take.
So what you can do.
Well, here's the thing. They can take the weapon, but that evidence might not be
So what you're
useful
saying
at trial, could get
is
suppressed.
they can violate the Fourth Amendment, and the only redress by government is
Generally, it's a
the
suppression.
motion to suppress.
Generally, that's what
So it's a
happens.
reactive process instead of a proactive process. See, I was standing there as a criminal
Generally,
justice
that's the way
student.
it works, at least in,
Okay.
From my end of it, that's what I see.
That's one. How about 2? Search incident to arrest for a DUI.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Any evidence that could contribute to that DUI,
So-
depending on what your probable cause is.
So
if
if
it's a controlled substance, you can search pretty meticulously through the car.
Okay.
If it's alcohol, you can look for alcohol.
Okay, so my question is, doesn't DUI presuppose that the substance has been consumed? So therefore, it's a supposition that any further evidence would exist.
Empty containers and things like that.
Yeah,
exactly.
but that's
Yeah.
line of sight. Oh, empty containers, but if you're searching for say, prescription drugs.
Yeah,
Um,
go through first. I mean, that,
But that would be the area around the immediate control of the driver, correct?
yeah, or throughout the vehicle, because they could have done it
So
prior to
you're
driving.
saying that even though the evidence may not exist because they've ingested it, they can still search for evidence that you're alleging has already been ingested?
If it's evidence pertaining to that particular crime that they have to see.
See, that doesn't make sense.
So for example, if they were looking for
Because I know in
an
Canada,
an
it's
elephant, there'd be no reason to search the car,
Yeah.
because it wouldn't fit in the car, right?
I understand
But if
that, but if
there's evidence of a
someone's
crime-
arrested for DUI, they've consumed whatever it is, and it's a complete supposition that there's anything else in the car.
Again,
Is that a sound
I-
legal opinion, and from me?
I understand what
being
you're, I
a fourth,
understand what
you know.
you're saying, and I see the sense in what you're saying, but my experience is that is something that's been allowed under the law. You'd have to read this, a chain of case law.
Oh, I've read the
Yeah.
case law. I have
Yeah.
to. I had Lori Ruxbury out at Southern
So-
University. I don't know if it's.
And I just say, but it's a situation where it starts to become arguable and depends on your motion to express on it, and I'm not sure I can tell you which way it would always come out. It would be a very fact-specific situation as to whether or not it would get suppressed or not.
Because that just doesn't sound like there's any legal foundation for searching for something when you're alleging that they've already consumed it. But that's just my.
And like I said, it's
I
pretty
understand.
standard fare that they.
I understand. Lots of states have it. Hey,
Yeah.
Jim Crow laws were legal for a long time. So.
Well, that's true, but I'm not sure whether it's right or wrong.
All right. Have a good one, sir.